Welcome back to the channel where we explore, learn, and theorize about the Marvel Universe. Today we're going to be covering an older plot leak that I never got around to, but it seems to be very legit. But first, I'm giving away a copy of Marvel's Avengers, so if you want to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stay tuned till the end where I'll go into more details on all the giveaway stuff again there. Before we start though, let me issue the normal spoiler warning. Although this leak isn't confirmed, it might be right or have bits and pieces that are right, so if that'll in any way affect your viewing experience, please click off the video now. And if not, then take this with a grain of salt, because no matter how accurate it sounds, it could still be fake. Now let's get started. The film opens with Michael Morbius being awarded a Nobel Prize for his involvement in medical research. During his acceptance speech, he faints. The film cuts to black, and then cuts to Michael as a young child at school being bullied because he can't walk. This is then broken up by Emil Nikos, played by Jared Harris, who's a doctor working at the school. Cut to adult Michael having a conversation with Nikos, explaining that his disease is getting worse and he suspects he doesn't have long to live. He thanks Nikos for sticking with him throughout his life. Cut to young Michael in a hospital ward playing chess against Nikos. Nikos encourages Michael to pursue becoming a doctor and finding a cure for his disease. Nikos is then told he has to see another patient, and Michael continues playing chess by himself. Cut to Michael in a hospital in New York, helping a girl who has cancer. He then goes to take his medication, but is stopped by Lakshya's Crown, played by Matt Smith, who Michael doesn't know. The Crown gives him a briefcase and his card, and tells Michael that these may help him find a cure. Cut to Michael being injected with medication by his wife, Martine Bancroft, played by Adria Arjona. During this scene, Michael explains once again how he suspects he doesn't have long to live. Michael and Bancroft walk to their lab. Michael says he needs to try more radical ways to cure himself. Michael opens the briefcase, and inside is a dead bat and a giant knife. Looks more like a machete. Michael's confused but studies the bat and finds out it's a vampire bat, but nothing else. Once Bancroft leaves, Michael calls Crown and asks him about the artifacts. Crown explains that he once suffered from the same disease, and tells him about a cave in Brazil. Michael tells Bancroft that he needs to go to this cave so he can be cured. However, Bancroft warns against it, but Michael doesn't listen. Cut to Michael in a helicopter on the way to the cave. There's a voiceover from Crown while this is happening, explaining what Michael has to do. Once he arrives, he pays everyone off. Some kind of machine opens from the ground, and Michael cuts his hand and presses it against the strings within the machine. Bats fly towards his hand and then outside the cave, killing everyone else that was in the helicopter. Michael passes out. Cut to black. Cut back to Michael waking up. He wanders Brazil for a bit, then sneaks onto a cargo ship headed to New York. He starts hiding and shivering. He's slowly transforming into a vampire. He also eats a live rat. The ship's attacked by pirates. This is the film's first real action scene. Morbius starts killing off the pirates, and throughout this scene, he's obscured by shadow, or it's a POV shot. It reminded me of a scene out of the Alien franchise. We only get a good look at him at the end of the scene, and it's the shot from the trailers. Morbius then jumps off the ship and starts swimming. Michael wakes up back in New York and not sure what happened. He crawls into a bar and tells the bartender to call an ambulance. During this scene, Michael watches TV, and it's none other than J. Jonah Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons, talking about dead bodies mysteriously found on a cargo ship. Michael then gets flashbacks. The ambulance arrives and he's rushed back to the hospital where he works, and he tells everyone that he was mugged and his crutches were stolen. Once he's in his lab, he tells Bancroft and Nikos what really happened, and he locks himself in containment to protect them. However, Michael's thirst for blood becomes too strong and he breaks out. Bancroft and Nikos escape, but he runs after a doctor/nurse working there, and is shot by security guards. Bancroft then injects Morbius with something and he's knocked out. Michael wakes up in his lab and finds a tomb there. There's a note on it that says, "All the answers you seek lie within, Lakshya." Michael opens it to find a skeleton wearing a comic-accurate Morbius suit, which Michael laughs at. The tomb's also covered in some ancient language, and Michael doesn't know how, but he's able to read it. Cut to Simon Stroud, played by Tyrese Gibson, investigating what caused the deaths of the pirates. Simon believes it was something supernatural that caused it, which the others laugh off. Simon has a mechanical gauntlet on his arm that gives him super strength in that arm. It's mentioned that the gauntlet is from Oscorp. Meanwhile, there's a montage of Michael testing out his new abilities. A lot of this is seen in the trailers. Simon visits Emil Nikos and starts asking questions about Michael. Meanwhile, Lakshya's Crown is in some kind of lab in the sewers and revealed to be incredibly skinny and has tattoos all over his body. He collapses. Cut to the tomb in Michael's lab opening itself up. The skeleton in it starts fighting Morbius, and this is the best scene in the movie just because of how bonkers it is. Morbius defeats it by crushing its skull, and then the skeleton's costume attaches itself to Morbius. Lakshya wakes up and casts some kind of spell on himself. He then walks onto some train tracks and stops the train with his weird magic spell. He then sucks the life out of everyone on board until he regains his strength and looks like normal Matt Smith. Loxius senses that Simon Stroud is going to ruin his plan, and he possesses Morbius, who flies over to Nico's house to kill Stroud. Stroud is able to put up a fight with Morbius because of his gauntlet, and Nikos is killed during the fight, leading Michael to snap out of it. Michael allows Stroud to arrest him, and he's sent to San Quentin State Prison, and his inmate is Adrian Toomes, played by Michael Keaton, who makes a joke about how him getting blipped technically meant he got a shorter sentence. During the night, Michael sees Loxius Crown in some kind of ghost form, who tells Michael to meet him in New York or he'll kill Martine Bancroft. Michael builds up his power and breaks out of the prison while floating and being surrounded by bats. This somehow leads to all electricity being cut off within the prison and everyone set free. A prison riot ensues, and Toomes climbs out of the prison while Michael uses his powers against prison guards and steals a coat from one of them. Toomes thanks Michael for breaking him out and tells him he's putting together a team, the Sinister Six, and wants Michael to join. Michael declines and uses his super speed to take him to New York. We also see Matt Gargan, played by Michael Mando, break out and meet up with Toomes. Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson, also runs off, but thankfully his hair no longer resembles Sideshow Bob, and it now looks more like a mop and slightly less red. It still looks like a wig, but it's better than what we had in Venom. Morbius finds Loxius Crown in New York, who reveals that the skeleton was once him, and he's a reincarnation and he needs Morbius to complete a ritual so he can live forever without reincarnating and becoming all-powerful. Morbius' costume forms around him and he fights Loxius. They're mostly flying the whole time, and the fight reminded me a lot of the fight from the end of Chronicle. Morbius is able to defeat Crown by reading one of his tattoos, which allows him to suck the life out of Crown. Morbius grows until he's 9 feet tall and starts roaring at everyone around, but Bancroft is able to calm him down until he's normal Michael again. Michael escapes before police arrive and takes off his costume. On the way, he passes a Spider-Man poster tagged Murderer, and unlike in the trailer, the picture used resembles the Homecoming suit instead of the Raimi suit. The film ends with Michael and Bancroft at Nico's funeral while Stroud watches in the distance. Cut to Morbius jumping across New York. The final shot is Morbius on a billboard showing a Peter Parker wanted sign. There are no end credit scenes. Now, there being no end credit scenes is a little weird. Maybe they missed them, or they hadn't been finished yet when this person saw the movie. But there's end credit scenes in almost every Marvel movie, including Venom, so it wouldn't make much sense if this one didn't have any. However, as you can see, the prison breakout that eventually leads to the Sinister Six will happen, and most importantly, it explains how Carnage escaped from prison. But the movie seems to be pretty slow in the beginning, which hopefully means they're going to focus on character development a lot more than most movies. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Do you think this plot leak is real or fake? And what part excited you the most? The comic book accurate Morbius suit, or the Sinister Six and Carnage breaking out of prison? Now on to the giveaway details. We've gained 200 subscribers in the past 2 months, and I know that we can easily beat that. So for the 1000 subscriber giveaway, I'm gonna do something special. Whenever we hit 1000 subscribers, I'll choose a random winner and give away a copy of Marvel's Avengers. But there's a catch. If we get 1000 subscribers by August 1st, I'll instead give away a copy of Marvel's Avengers, the Deluxe Edition. I already gave away a Baby Groot Funko Pop at the 500 subscriber mark, so if you're new to the channel or you want to be entered to win a copy of Marvel's Avengers, make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment on this video. And since it'll be truly random, the more videos you leave a comment on, the better chance you'll have to win. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.